And here we go. Welcome, Game 4. We got about 40 seconds here to kick off, and we'll be ready to get with you. Teams are just saying some inspirational words to each other here. Castors on the brink, needing a big win tonight, and Dragons looking to be back-to-back. I am Punchy, your host, and I am joined by the marvelously talented Joachim Hackshaw. So how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing good. I like that you just said talented and didn't go into specifics. We'll leave that as a mystery for the audience at home. That's the way I like it. It's one of my many talents as being a man of mystery. But yeah, looking forward to this one. The youthful exuberance of the Toe Dragons versus the team that's pretty much just refused to die this entire playoff run and is still here hoping to get their hand on the trophy, the Castors.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how Spencer Emery. This will be the first of his 2 tilts tonight. He'll be playing 2 tilts back to back, which is hasn't been anything shy of an amazing feat.
No, he's used to it now. He's pretty much done it every night of these FHL and BHL final series, chipping in and filling in for the Castors while Connor Parr gets ready to take on the Australian Hockey League in Adelaide.
I'll be right back.
All right. I wonder what this conversation's about. Aaron's busy maybe telling them what he wants to see. I want a good clean game, no low shots, maybe everything above the belt.
And there we go. A little bit of technical difficulties to start off, but we're ready to go here.
It's been, we've been finding our way as we go along is the Hockey House ethos.
We definitely figure out a way to do it, but the fact that we got a beer league that is being televised right now, and the fact that we have 2 of the biggest cups in the country being ready to be handed out tonight, that makes it special for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in terms of cups per, New Zealanders love a per head of capita statistic more than any other country. We lead the world in per head of capita statistics. And per inch of trophy, we're definitely winning that here in Hockey House.
It's all about the big cup. Anyways, let's get back into the game here. So, game 4 is underway. Simon will sit back and analyze the offense. He catches Del Mato coming across center. He's been absolutely flying in these playoffs. 25 points to date. It's taken away by Fusick. Fusick will get a chance to clear the zone, but unfortunately the Castors were in the middle of a change. Rouse will step over the blue line. He'll find Del Mato, and Del Mato will tap it in on the back door on a beautiful feed from Bryce Rouse.
Just probably the most beer league of changes there. Fusick made the outlet pass, picked off by Rouse, and Fusick glid past the play for the change, leaving a lane wide open.
It was eerily similar to Game 7 Brad Marchand against the St. Louis Blues back in 2019. In which at the end of the period, he did very much the same thing, a smooth little flyby, which led to Petro burying one and giving me and my team the first cup in history of that franchise. So
yeah, and for those of you at home who had under a minute for how long it takes Punchy to bring up the 2019 Stanley Cup champion Blues, unfortunately you haven't cashed your ticket. It took him a whole minute 45. I think under 5 was still paying pretty decent money, so there's going to be a few punters at home happy about that.
I can't even imagine what that would have been paid.
Yeah.
And did you have the over-under for me mentioning it more than once?
Well, I was going to say, I don't think I'm allowed to gamble on it, being that I'm sharing the seat with you, but if I was, I absolutely would have taken the over. We're only on Game 7 here. I think we haven't even seen like a very outstanding 10D save, because as soon as we do, shades of Jordan Biddington are going to get mentioned, I'm sure.
Oh, Benny. So here we go. Dragons jump out to a 1-0 lead. If they can finish it off tonight, they will be back-to-back champions. It's only happened one other time.
Was that the Castors who did it themselves, or have they just won 2 but spread out?
The Top Cheese, I believe, was the only team to go back-to-back.
Back-to-back champions.
Yep, absolutely. McDonald, he's been an absolute force. He's been running the offense. Drops it back to VC. VC will have a shot to the point.
Yeah, I believe I said before I had to leave on Sunday, I mentioned that this man's been going coast to coast more often than Steve Gurney.
Yeah, he is the BHL's Bobby Orr, that guy, that number 3 there.
For sure, we just need to see the big swan dive.
Last year's MVP of these very same playoffs. Ooh, Spencer Emery takes 2 shots in low. Oh, and Marku Molarchu has one in the back door, but he can't finish.
Marku, how the hell are you? Not good because you didn't get the finish.
And Ian Wanamaker will take it and circle back. He'll send it back to Chung on the back end. He'll give it to Fusick. Fusick will take the blue line. He'll push wide. Comes in on Jaden Pert, and he throws one to the far corner, but it's just outside the net. I can't say his name. Marku passed it off to Delmato.
I honestly think if you say Marku, how the hell are you, it actually comes out pretty close. And I've never been to Finland, and I don't think they're going to let me in after this effort.
Congratulations to Mr. Marku. Became a Kiwi citizen just the other day. Oddly enough, he's standing in line to become a citizen, and who's there? Another BHLer, also becoming a citizen. So congratulations to Mike Lazowski. He'll be playing later on tonight in the FHL Cup. The 2 of them, brand new Kiwis.
For real. Well, congratulations to them both. They're both stalwarts of our hockey scene, and we love having them here. So glad that they can do it, keep on doing it for many more years.
And who knows? They might be eligible for the Worlds.
Well, yeah, of course. And I don't know if you ever bring in how many naturalized or citizens you need on an FHL or BHL team, at least they now count to that Kiwi cap.
We try to keep it pretty even between them all. Fun fact.
Yeah, if you've got registration fee, you're good here.
Fun fact, over 40 different countries have been represented in the 10 years of the league.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. We've had guys as far as Mexico, Estonia, Turkey, all over the place. Romania.
What is we got FHLer Stephen Richardson out there running the centre in the highest stages of the BHL.
What a big game.
We love to see that.
For him to get called up.
His improvement over, I've played why am I forgetting my own team name? Sometimes this happens I played for the Lumberjacks for 3 years, and Stephen Richardson's improvement over those 3 years has just been unreal. So well deserved, and good to see him getting the call up here.
That's exactly what the FHL is about. FHL is about bringing in new players such as Stephen, yourself, guys that maybe weren't the same as the North Americans getting where they grow up on the ice. So many guys here find hockey so much later, and we always have a place for them in the hockey house.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's just such a better setup now. I mean, I'm in early 40s. I actually played for 3 years from 10 to 13, but we had chicken wire all round, and there was no NZIHL to aim at. Even just the regional teams had a once-a-year tournament, so there's just nothing to really look at or aim at here. I think if we had a setup like we have now, I would have stayed with the game, but I picked soccer at the time because hockey just wasn't really up to much. So it's good to be back, and
Yeah, and you can't say anything about the fact of the game now. The game is thriving more than it ever has. So it's been absolutely. I love seeing some of the old pictures of some of the old rinks from around the country. Yeah. There's some beautiful barns around this country.
Well, even in my second stint, I'd consider. I mean, the first stint was so long ago, being that it was 10 to 13, and I'm 43 now. But even in my second stint, starting in about 2014, the player numbers in the country have doubled. Literally gone from about 1,500 to close to 3,000 now. It's unreal.
And that's a credit. That's a credit to the boys across the board. All the men and women from top of the island to the bottom of the island that just work for this great game and try to bring it to the players. And a credit to the players for sticking with it and enjoying the sport around the country. Yeah,
and you'll keep on seeing it follow through. We know that most of the guys in the NZIHL are guys with day jobs and enjoying it, but still putting on a really entertaining product for us. But the kids at the rinks don't know that. They're just heroes to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh, they're heroes to us too. Who are we kidding?
Yeah. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to play too cool on the commentary so I can still actually hang out with them and I don't want them to know.
You don't want them to know you have a pile of Sharpies in the glove box.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's what's going to happen because for those of you listening in and think they vaguely recognise my voice, I occasionally do the in-arena for both NZIHL teams. So Yeah, it's probably going to happen the end of the season. I'm going to show up with a jersey and be like, "Oh, it's for a kid who really loves you guys." Can we get the whole team to?
It's a very familiar gig. I used to hold that too, and by looking at the two of us, we both have faces for radio.
Yeah.
Keep us in the booth.
Pepsi, please keep that camera pointed at the ice at all times. But yeah, I'm going to be, and just by weird coincidence, this kid's name's Joachim too. Shut up, just sign the jersey.
Exactly. Hey, it's good to look down on the Castors bench and see Sean Abe here tonight. One of the couple of Castors that were injured earlier in this playoff run. So to see him back in the lineup, he is a guy that knows how to stretch the ice and can really bury the puck. So having him in the lineup is huge. Oh, Emery has a tough one to take in tight there. Simon plays it in at the blue line. He keeps it in. Gaza will kick it. Marku picks it up. Outweights the goaltender. Fans on it. Ian Wanamaker will tear out of the zone. He's got Davies and Fusick with him. He puts it down low. Davies picks it up on the backside. He can't get a centering pass. Luke Simon is away. Off to McDonald. McDonald's got their Mato with him on the break. He'll have a tip, but he could not redirect it towards the net. Fusick's back hard on the forecheck. Or on the back check, my bad. Gaza goes back to Fusick. Quick entry out of the zone. He's got Davies with him. Fusick's going to go wide. He'll get a shot off, but it's deflected wide of the net. Simon picks it up. Simon tries to hit Delmato. Goes back to Cole on the point. Over to Steven. Steven moves it to Abe. Abe takes the zone. He's got Kadlik in tow. They fight for it in the corner. The ref is completely in the way. He thinks hopping up on the boards will get him out of the way, but it's not exactly doing that. But it's a solid effort by Big A, longtime referee there. Abe finally chips it down in the corner, but Virgil collects. Virgil sends it around the half wall. It's left for Simon coming through the middle. Simon cuts across to the right-hand side. Emery tips it off the netting. Koptev picks it up in the corner. Cole sends it down to Steven. Steven hit a leg on the exit. Goes back down in the corner by VC. Cole find Abe looking for a quick breakout. He goes up the wall to Franek. If he can reach it, they got a 2-on-1. But Bryce Rouse is going to be there, and it's going to be called icing, a close one there.
Yeah, quick opportunity to, I think most of the people on the live stream are probably people we know personally, but in case there's anyone who's just randomly found us and is unfamiliar with the FHL and BHL, puck hits the net, who cares? We just keep on playing. It's Summer League, baby. We're just trying to play some hockey. We don't need whistles ruining our fun.
Yeah, it's one of those rules that's been in this league for a very long time. Cuts down with a lot of the breaks. I can see when it happens in regular leagues. It's kind of a tradition. It's kind of how it's done. But in this league, obviously, not a lot of things are done like everybody else. It's a very unique league that way.
Now, if you want to hear the whistle all the time, you can play during the winter. It's fine. We're just like trying to get good value for money here.
Oh, and Cole will put one right into the glove of Pert, and he doesn't even close it. And then he messes up the flip to Somerville. Somerville had to reach down for the puck there. A little bit tired. I think he just used all of his arm workout on holding himself up on the boards there shortly ago.
He will have probably... Oh, no, we had a scrimmage before, so there would have been no Admirals training today, I'm guessing, or maybe, Jaden's been training with the Admirals, and then...
I believe they got the week off this week. They had a tough series down in Dunedin, I believe, last weekend.
Yeah, probably. They've got no game this weekend. There is Botany Swarm are playing across town at Botany.
A rare off day for them to start the year.
I was trying to find an excuse for him not handling the puck handoff to Aaron, but we'll just have to, if we're taking a bus and throwing him under it, we may as well make it a double-decker.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what a steal by Delmato in tight. Oh, and it looks like we might have a penalty coming. Oh, and Delmato is going to head to the box. Aaron Somerville has called his first penalty of the game. And so the clock's going to stop with 2:32 on the clock. Delmato is going to head to the box for a hook. Thought it was a clean steal. Might have got a little bit high in the hands.
Possibly, yeah. I guess that'd be the only thing if it did slide up the stick and catch glove. Aaron's a lot closer than us, so
We don't have high-class replay here in the VHL, so we can't check. We can only take his word for it.
Yeah, we'll have to. Aaron's a trustworthy guy. Well,
Absolutely.
Famous last words.
You can't have a goatee like that and not be trustworthy.
Short-handed opportunity for Toe Dragons there.
And Cadlick will move it all the way back to McDonald. McDonald will skate it back and just chomp away at the time here. Abe will chase him down, push him into Cole. He makes McDonald double back. Double back goes to his partner, Simon. Simon will throw it the length of the ice. Emery will steer that back. Wani will take it on the far side. We'll see what they got for a breakout here. A little pass to Cole. Cole's going to take it up. He'll gain the zone. He'll be looking to send it back to Chung. But he's checked nicely by Koptev. Koptev will get away, and looks like we're going to have a 2-on-1 here chance. Koptev tries to slide it across to Vesey. And Vesey can't get it by. But Koptev gets another steal, centers to Vesey, and it was just out of his hands. Cowsell will jump in, and he'll keep it deep for the Dragons as time clicks away. Under 40 seconds now on the penalty. Fusick with a nice exit to Abe, but he can't make it happen. Abe will put it down in the corner to Steven. Steven will go behind the net to Fusick. Fusick gives it back to Steven. Steven had a shot, but Pert was there for the save. He'll go back to the point to Steven, stays in. He pushes it across to Cole. Cole takes it down on the half wall. Cole assessing the situation. Goes back to Steven on the point, who chips it over to Fusick. Fusick steps in and rips a shot right into the Dragon's head.
Yeah, I think ever since Fusick made the Marchand-like change, he's been pretty determined to make amends for it. He's been all over the ice and breaking up play at his own end and being an active defenseman and getting involved in attacking opportunities at the other end. He's someone probably gave him a nudge and he's like, well, I'll get it back for us. His ears might have been burning, eh? He might have been on the bench wondering what would that little... Maybe, the old guys, well, I don't know, you're Canadian, but I don't know what the equivalent is to having we have the old guys at the cricket who sit there and listen to the commentary on a transistor radio while watching the cricket on the grass. If he has like the radio piece in his ear and he's like on the bench, he's like, fuck you, Joachim. I'm like, oh, sorry, YouTube, my language got a little blue there. You know what I mean?
And that's going to do it for one.
Yeah.
Drop the F-bomb at the end of the first period. And after one period, it is the Toe Dragons.
That's what I was looking for. I was hoping the intermission bell was. If I timed it better, the horn for the intermission could have censored me, but I was just a little too quick.
There's always a second period to try it again.
Yeah. Who's on Operation Convince Carol to cook a pizza?
Well, I've completed that mission successfully myself once.
Yeah.
But now's the best time to do it ever.
I got
Yes, if you make your way down to Paradise Avondale, they do have fresh stone-baked pizzas made by Carol, and she smiles while she makes them.
She loves making them. It's her favorite thing.
She does it regularly and loves it a lot. And we will be right back to you guys in a couple of minutes. And here we go. We're back with the second period. Second period action. McDonald takes it down into the corner. Del Mato with a quick exit. Gets touched by a couple of players. Look at the speed coming through the zone. McDonald takes it down low. He'll come all the way around with it. He's supported up top by Del Mato and Simon. Stripped out of the zone, knocked down by Cadlick. Kept in by Simon. Simon will shove one in on Emery, and he'll hold for a whistle. And we got 14 minutes to go here in the second period. The draw is won by the Castors. Wani plays it back in the corner. He'll bring it around this side to Abe. Abe will keep it low. Dragons get hemmed in. Oh, and he comes around and he hits the far post. Simon takes it down low in the corner. He'll shove it out to the top of the point. McDonald keeps it in. McDonald throws it back down to Simon. Simon goes cross behind the net to Koptev. Koptev goes off the boards to Del Mato. He goes quick D to Ryan. McDonald turns, has a shot. It's blocked. Goes back to Simon on the point. He's checked by Franich. Simon gives it back to McDonald. McDonald takes it low in the corner and he'll control. Throws it down deep down to Koptev. Koptev has it behind the net. Fusick goes in and gives chase. Absolutely dominant puck control here by the Dragons. Del Mato has a shot in the middle, but he can't finish. The Dragons working on roughly about a minute. They've had this Castors team hemmed in. Cadlick takes it out of the corner. Cadlick hooks it out up top to Simon. It's tried to tip by Del Mato. Comes up front. Oh, Del Mato gets two shots at it. And neither one goes. Simon tips it. And it's finally cleared out of the zone by the Castors. And just like that, Del Mato picks it up, hit the blue line, comes in like a house on fire. The late end of the shift loses an edge, and he'll go down on the play. And that'll most likely end his shift here. Wani intercepts a pass. Wani steps in through the middle, makes a play on Rouse. Goes back off the net to himself. Tries to bang it home, but he wasn't fooling Pert. Del Mato dances around Goodall at the blue line. He'll go cross ice for Kyle McDonald. Kyle McDonald takes it low in the zone. Puts it up top to Virgil. Virgil's going to get a shot, but it goes wide. Comes around, it's kept in by Brous. Into the stick of Steven. Steven pushes across to Richardson. Richardson will pick it up at center. He gets stick lifted and stolen from him. And Gaza will come out through the zone, and he's got one with him. He'll step over, just take a shot. Davies will go down and chase it. He'll try to center it, and it's picked off by McDonald. McDonald will push it ahead to Vesey, but he wasn't ready for it. Steven goes cross ice to hit Viggy. Viggy will take it low. He'll try for a centering pass, but it's picked off by Virgil, who will circle back into his own zone, head behind the net for some safety. He pushes it up to Haberkern. Haberkern across to Vesey. Vesey takes the blue line. He curls back, looking for somebody off the bench. He'll just come out of the zone and keep control of the puck. Big boys head over the bench. Simon and McDonald. And Snell gives chase down to Reed Cole. And he'll go back and use his net as a shield. Simon picks it up, goes D to McDonald. McDonald analyzes the situation, goes cross ice, puts it to Marku, who leaves it for Del Mato, goes in all alone. It goes for the one-handed backhand a la Sidney Crosby, and he meets nothing but leather from Emery on the play.
Did pretty well to lift it with the one hand, but just lifted it to perfect glove height. Spence Emery with the glove position perfectly right above the right pad where it should be.
Perfect. It's almost perfect.
Exactly. You know, if I say perfect a few more times, people will start believing that's what they're seeing out there.
This is all perfect. It's a perfect night in New Zealand for hockey.
Yeah.
And here we are. Game 4. Fusick the Castors really need to get out of their zone. They've been hemmed in for most of this period. And just like that hit, Viggy works his way into a shot on net.
Yeah, one stretch pass off the face-off win. I think I've said something about Fusick chipping in brilliantly as a defenseman on the attack, but he's actually playing centre, which probably explains a bit more as to why he's making so many attacking runs. I think he does sometimes play D, but the nature of beer league is sometimes people will switch up positions. We don't exactly get lineup sheets here, so you'll have to excuse the odd error from your commentary crew.
Yeah. Yes, positions are only meant for face-offs. And that's going to go all the way down for icing. We haven't had a lot of those tonight, whistles.
No. And then it just becomes, well, you know, the Dutch football teams of the 70s when they played total football. Everyone here in beer league plays total hockey.
That's right.
Everyone plays every position.
Have you ever ventured into the goal crease?
No. Well, when I get, not as a goalie, like I've ventured into the goal crease when I've gotten lost as a skater and forgotten where I am. But apart from that.
I tried it once, hurt my back, retired forever.
Yeah, fair enough. No, sometimes well, for my first 2 seasons of playing as an adult, of course, you play Div 2, and sometimes keepers don't exactly have the safest hands in that grade. I think I figured out across my first 4 goals of my adult hockey career, they would have been 2 meters away from the net in total if you add up all 4.
Hey, you know what I'm curious about?
They all count the same.
Did you get a pizza?
No.
No.
It wasn't Carol this time either. Oscar had apparently turned everything else off, so I think it's kind of fitting. I'm not mad at it. I think it's fitting for how this commentary stint has been going for me. The first 2 times I've had to do it mostly by myself, but thank you again to Alex Hefford for joining me for a large chunk of the second game I commentated. But we've had the delirium of me doing it by myself and trying to figure out the tech setup. But now I have you to keep me sane, but eventually having done an hour scrimmage and not eaten yet, eventually probably by halfway through game 2 of this evening, hunger will take over and I'll get a little bit delirious even though I have you here. So we're just keeping up the trend is all I'm saying. I did try it though. Oscar was kind of like, because of course it was an in-joke between us and Carol, and when you transfer the in-joke to someone else it doesn't necessarily work. So poor old Oscar is like, we're closed down, and I'm like, is stuff going to be still closed if I send Punchy over? And he just looked at, I may as well have been speaking Swahili at that point, because
I personally don't even know how to operate that oven. Some people would look at my frame and go, bullshit.
Well, that's the thing is, like, do you mean you're going to send Punchy over to actually do it, or is he just going to be a more convincing salesman, or what's going on here? But no, he I didn't have the English to hockey joke Google Translate set, so I just had to awkwardly be like, never mind, have a good evening.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And you bought 4 bags of Doritos, and now you're sorted.
No, I'm just gonna. I'm just.
Wani with a nice little pass, nice pickup by Frantic as he kicked it up to his stick there.
No, I'm just gonna hold out, and if the first KFC I stop through is sold out of Wicked Wings, and someone's gonna really. They'll be hell to pay.
They'll be suffering.
Yeah. And they'll be like, what's this guy's problem? And they'll have to explain that I couldn't get a stone-based pizza at a hockey rink. And they'll again look at me like I'm speaking some sort of language of like the 191st sized UN nation.
And Dalmato circles out of his zone with speed. Drops it to Koptev. Koptev shoots for the top corner and just misses. Fusick tries to wrap it around his own net. Ooh, Dalmato with a tidy little toe drag at the blue line. Virgil steps in. Emery makes another save. Seems to be a trend. Emery making nothing but saves in these finals.
You know, I was going to ask you that. Have you looked into the stats across like what his save percentage in the finals to the 2 is? Because, I mean, it's absolutely lights out in FHL as you would expect. He's been a brick wall in that, and he hasn't been... His save percentage wouldn't be as high in BHL, but it's certainly been what you'd expect. It'd be like it's on par for a goalie of this level of what you'd expect, and for someone stepping in from the division below.
Well, he's had, going into game 3 of the FHL final, he was rolling with a .81 GAA.
Is that the whole playoffs or just the final?
The entire playoffs.
Yeah.
And he had only allowed 5 goals. And he also had 4 shutouts.
Yeah, two of them against my team, so you're welcome.
In the BHL playoffs, congratulations to Connor Parr, who's now gone overseas. And with him going overseas, Emery has stepped up and got himself a starting role here with the Castors. But in saying that, he also played in both rounds for the Pylons and picked up wins in both rounds. So he's looking at roughly playing about 20 extra games after his season has ended here.
It's like literally I played 15 regular season games and 5 playoff games. So he's played more. 3 playoff games because we got swept by his team. So he's played more playoff games than I've played total games. He certainly has got an absolute value for money for his registration. My people would be proud.
Again, like we were saying, Connor Parr, congratulations to him signing with the Adelaide Adrenaline. Spoke to him the other day. He said he's enjoyed his first couple days of training camp. He's excited to get back at it with the boys, and best of luck to him from us here in the Hockey House.
I've never been to Adelaide, but it's kind of known for 2 things. They give it the nickname the City of Churches, and it's also kind of known for being Australia's wine country, which is an interesting one.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow, did Del Matto pull off a couple amazing moves right there. Marku could not get it by Emery, though.
Which is makes for an interesting city because, of course, there's so much religion with the churches, but if Jesus does return, then all those wineries are out of business as well. So it's a very conflicted city. And I guess the hockey team calling the Adrenaline, if it's either church on Sunday or falling asleep after too many wines, it probably is the most exciting show in town.
Absolutely. We've only been to Adelaide once with the Hockey House. It was actually the inaugural Goons tournament.
Wow,
the Traveling
okay.
Goons, the first tournament they ever entered.
So that's why I was wondering
Adelaide.
why Connor chose that city. He must have just been like, well, that's Hockey House history, and I have to respect that.
Well, pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Pretty cool story. When we went to that tournament, we met the organizer of that tournament, longtime Aussie team captain, Glenn Foll. Oh, and there we go. We got a goal there. A wraparound goal tuck back by Ryan McDonald. We got lost talking about Connor there for a second. And the young kids are saying, that was my point. That was my point. Please don't give it to anybody else. That was my point. But the Dragons are going to go up 2-0 on a beautiful wraparound goal there by Ryan McDonald. Getting back to Connor there, the organizer of the Aussie Challenge Cup, Mr. Glenn Foll, also the GM of the Adelaide Adrenaline, a terrific guy, runs an amazing tournament. Always looking for good Kiwi and Aussie talent to help out his squad. As you know, they have similar rules to the NZIHL with imports. And he was on the hunt for a young goalie from...
Very cool. Do we, as Kiwis in the Australian League, do we still count as an import spot, or is there some sort of
Oh, and just like that.
Toad Dragons have gone 3 up.
The Toad Dragons have gone 3 up. Koptev with a little tuck back. And we should just stop talking about Connor because...
Yeah, the Castors are like,
his
change the
replacement
subject.
is having a tough time.
Yeah, the Castors are like, change the subject. You're cursing us up here.
Koptev with a nice. You know what? If you are watching the stream at home, you definitely need to rewind to the 3.5 minute mark because we just saw 2 beautiful goals and a nice set of dangles by these young kids. They've been absolutely awesome, and for the Swarm, they've been next level as well. They've been tearing up this league now for 2 years. And I don't see anything in spot. All night long, Aaron says that was a hook. All night. So it'll be John Franich, and he'll be headed to the box here. Another veteran Swarm player. Oh, he's getting 2 minutes on the slash with about 30 seconds left on the clock. And the draw will be taken by Vesey and Fusick. Goes back to McDonald on the point. McDonald walks the line. Waits for Simon to come up top, take the quarterback position. He takes a shot, goes in. Haberkern makes a save. In 15 seconds, we'll run down here. Be surprised if we get another draw. Yoakum's got 9 minutes to drop a slur or slang or swear word.
Not 9 seconds,
9 seconds, my bad. There we go.
Fuck.
We're going to hit the
Not too early.
and he hit it too early. You got to hit it with the buzz on the period.
I forgot that the buzzer was a second or two behind the actual clock up there. It's like listening to the next episode. Hitting that smoke weed every day takes a little bit of practice to get the timing exactly right.
But never heard a truer statement.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back with you guys for the third period in just a moment.
All right, we're about to get back into third period action with the Toad Dragons holding a 3-0 lead, looking to close this game out and win their second consecutive. What's that? Oh yeah, gotcha. Looking to win their second consecutive BHL trophy, but of course the Castors across this playoff run have been the team that refuses to die. They've overcome multi-goal deficits in games, so this is absolutely far from over. If you're wondering why I'm doing the play-by-play instead of the colour for a bit, Punchy's gone on a beer run. We are putting the beer in Beer League. I guess if I can't get anything to eat here at Paradise, I'm going to eat Heineken. Please don't come to me for dietary advice. Yeah, Simon, just across to McDonald. The Toad Dragons sitting on this 3-0 lead, probably content just to play a bit of four corners. At least McDonald's winding it up, looking for options and finding Haberkern now. Interesting, of course, power play, having three normal defensive players out there. Luke Simon looks to be holding that centre role while Haberkern and McDonald play the traditional D positions. Good fluid movement there. Oh, broken up there by Zach Stephen. And with absolutely no time to delay, even with a 3-goal deficit, got to go at it short-handed. A little bit of a scramble in front of Jaden's net. Pops up to Reed Cole. And Jaden will just very gratefully accept that into his glove hand. Would have probably liked to have gotten a freeze on that earlier. Of course, when it's bobbling and you can't find it, as soon as you can locate it and put it in your glove, be very grateful to blow play dead. Offensive zone here to the Castors. Of course, with this, they've got no time to delay and have to go after goals as soon as they can get them. They obviously, I'm just going to be Captain Obvious in the commentary box here, can't afford to go 4-0 down, but can't wait in seeking goals either. Frantic getting an itchy trigger finger by the door. He's getting ready to go. Yep, we're back to even strength here now. Frantic back on the ice and looking for that quick breakout pass. Zach Stephen walled off by John Snell there. Good forechecking. A good forecheck is where you really put in that hold. A good best defense is a good offense, keeping him pinned and hemmed. Sean Abe now looking to just grind his way down the wall. Can't come up with the puck there now. Toad Dragons break it out. Punchy El Presidente, who was meant to be on a beer run, is making sure the cup is positioned. So the Toad Dragons, if they glimpse up from the bench and look over to the penalty boxes across. He's just putting it a little bit away from the penalty boxes. The Toe Dragons on the bench might be able to glimpse, daydream, think about what they could be lifting up in 17 minutes plus stoppages, but they won't want to get too distracted and count their chickens yet. You don't know when you allow yourself to start to dream as to when the captain thinks who he might be handing off to first. Marku starts planning what he's going to do on this year's nudie run. And of course, I know there's probably a bunch of FHLers and BHLers at home just cheering for a Toe Dragons victory tonight, not out of loving one team above the other or who they're friends with or not who they're friends with. But of course, if this series does finish tonight, that's an open slot for all of us in the FHL, BHL family to come back here for a scrimmage on Thursday night. Nice little interplay by the Toe Dragons there. Aaron, of course, again climbing the wall to try and help the Castors break it out. They can't. Really nice anticipation puck picked off there by Wanamaker. Vesey trying to find his counterpart, but Wanamaker picking off beautifully. And now Fusick just circling the net, looking for support, picking up a puck shot. Fusick really is over every puck and first to it more often than not since Punchy and I called him out. Fusick finds Wanamaker, who can't quite collect it, but Chunga keeps it low, tidied up by McDonald, who again is looking to go coast to coast. There's just no stopping the man. Absolutely had his Weet-Bix. Incredible bounce off the pads of Emery. Chung tries to clear, but well anticipated there by Cadlick. Keeps it alive, looks for a man up front, can't find him. Bryce Rouse can't keep it in. Stephen Richardson gets across the line. Can't quite find Wanamaker, but the puck again lands on the stick of Fusick. Puck punched into the corner by Emery there, picked up by Kyle McDonald. That might be another FHL call-up into the top team. I believe Ryan plays the whole time, but Kyle, I thought was an FHL. Well, don't quote me on that. Wish Punchy was here, knows these players much better. He's taking a little bit of an arena announcement. Jaden Pert will absolutely want that one back. He instantly reached to cover his face, went for the poke check, but poked it in to the on-rushing Castor. I didn't quite get which number he punched it into, but Jaden definitely would want that one back. And of course, the Castors, as I've mentioned, are the team that refuses to die, and now they're within touching distance with 14:30. El Presidente is back, so I'm going to allow him to take over the play-by-play.
This is the most dangerous spot that you could be in against the Les Castors. There's a 2-goal lead.
Of course, they're the team that refuses to die, and Jaden, who has stood tall and made some great saves across this final series, just with a poke check he would want back to allow the Castors back into the... I mean, that's probably why I've never been a goalie, because if I make a mistake, I stay angry at myself for several minutes and it compounds, but goalies can't allow themselves to do that. He just needs to put his head down and make the next save.
And Del Mato tries to find Haberkern on the back door. Steven pushes a little chip to himself there. He escaped the forecheck from Haberkern, but Haberkern stays with him. He's making Steven really show off his skating ability. And then Del Mato comes in and collects the empty puck. Toe drags around Cole. Del Mato into the corner. Gets it back to Simon. Simon goes cross ice. Snell will pick it up. Snell will curl around. He's challenged by Abe. But he gives it away to Franek. Franek gave it to Gaza, but he was headed for a change. Simon, little pass into Del Mato. Snell gets a backhand on the net. Haberkern has it low. Haberkern gets it back to himself. Chips it in for McDonald, who pinches down. He keeps it in the zone. Haberkern's in there with him.
Leap.
McDonald comes up with the puck. Ooh, and Haberkern gets a tight end shot.
Finds pounces on the loose puck brilliantly. Vranic got tied up with Haberkern there before. What's your opinion on high sticking if the man you high stick is 5'4"?
Safety first. Haberkern is one of those little buzzsaws that gets right in there. You call him a water bug. He's just kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
You saw that play there. He's one of the few guys. He's got the smallest legs, so they never stop. So it's hence the water bug comment. But to answer your question, a high stick is a high stick. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a high stick on cue. Just like that, VC knocked one down to his teammate. The face-off will come down to the other end.
Sorry, VC, Rico, we pretty much manifested that.
Yeah, Rico, sorry, buddy. So it's going to be Rico and Fusick on the draw. Fusick will get it back to Chunger.
Did you be a run for me too, or did you just be a run for you?
I actually went all the way around, couldn't find one, came back, and there was one sitting beside
there we
chair.
go. Okay, fair enough.
It's like the hockey gods love me.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the ones I bought.
You may have heard that.
Well, I guess if you did hear that, you've got maybe half an hour to get to Avondale, and then free beers are yours. We're punchy. Said where they are, but
those ones are courtesy of tonight's scorekeeper Rob Murphy.
Yeah, nice. We love a Murph. But yeah, I'm going to go to this top secret location that shall not be disclosed.
And we'll welcome back Yoakum shortly. McDonald will push it up out of the zone. Abe's there to chip it off of him. Abe goes cross ice. Misses Franich on the far side. Simon circles back. He's going to hit McDonald. McDonald goes cross ice to Koptev. Koptev can't get in over the line. Tries to find D'Amato. It's a turnover to Abe. Abe tried to chip it ahead, but him and Franich had their wires crossed. McDonald gives it to Koptev coming through the middle. Koptev's got D'Amato with him. Koptev shoots one down the side. It misses the net. Wanamaker will put it up the wall. Goes to Gaza. Gaza puts it out, but Koptev wins the race. McDonald hits Simon through the middle. Simon will come through with speed. Chung got a piece of that. It goes high. Kadlik circles back, gives it back to Simon at the point. Simon hits D'Amato on the back door. And I thought you were going to bring the whole box.
Oh, I probably should, because the Cones saw me open that cupboard and grab one out. So if the Cones come out for the Game 4 of the FHL Finals and they're wobbly on their feet, then we know there's no beers left.
Well, you know, one cone that isn't wobbly is Spencer Emery.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they're saying right now. They're probably like, we could have a beer each, and he's out there not having beers. He can just shut the door in front of us, and we'll stumble around and see how it goes for us.
He's been our guy.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. And so we move on, and it's going to be kept in by Cowsell. Cowsell will put it down to Kadlik. Kadlik will circle around the half wall. He's looking for a D-man to give it to. Virgil will step in. D'Amato got a piece of it. Koptev gets it back. Gives it to D'Amato. D'Amato gives it back to Koptev behind the net. Koptev tries to center. It's picked off by Fusick. Fusick's going to step up across the line. Cowsell is back to play it. And it's kept in on the follow-up by Fusick. Fusick has it on the far side. Centering pass made. Stevenson jumps out. Emery's out of the net to play it. He'll play it off the wall. It's stolen by Kadlik. Kadlik centers to Koptev. Richardson will come with it. He hits Fusick across the middle with a beautiful pass. Simon steps up on Fusick, makes the play. And the puck goes wide to McDonald. McDonald comes in, stoned by Emery. 2 attempts there. Goes back to D'Amato behind. Haberkern will take it. He'll put it up the top. D to D. McDonald gets a shot, and Emery will squeeze for another whistle. 7:40 remaining.
Well, the Cones now believe I'm the resident alcoholic because, of course, they've witnessed me go into their change room, grab one can from the box, and then no later than 20 seconds go back in and grab the whole box.
If at first you don't succeed,
Exactly.
go back and take it all.
So I was just kind of thinking of myself there, of course, post-scrimmage and no dinner. I probably should make this my last beer of the evening in case I don't want a DUI before I get to that KFC. I don't know much. I've never actually had a DUI, but I believe the police won't stop at a KFC on the way to the station for you. I don't think that's how it works.
But in this country, KFC might be the spot to set up to catch people. And Wanamaker will get a chance wide open, and it goes off a foot. A nice play by the Castors there. Finally interrupted some of this breakout of the Dragons. Haberkern will have a shot, and Eric Chung makes his 75th block shot of the series.
Oh yeah, those skate blades are probably puck colored by now.
He's got the Craig Ludwig shin pads.
Yeah, I have to finish my thought. I honestly think that if you put the cop stop in front of the KFC in a visible location, there would be enough Kiwis that it'd just be like, I want KFC, I'm rolling the dice, I don't care.
I'm just going to go.
I'm
just going to go. Hopefully he catches me on the way out. I've absorbed some of it.
Yeah, exactly. Be like,
it was one of the...
well, you're clear for alcohol, but you are unusually high on potato and gravy.
That is one of the highlight stories that I took home with me to my friends in Canada after I had visited after COVID. They said, it was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool to see New Zealand how you guys shut down so well. I go, yeah, you have no idea. Like the biggest thing that happened during that time was the carload left Hamilton full of KFC. It got busted trying to border hop into Auckland.
I love this story because, of course, now we've got shouldn't get too political, but of course there's arguments from the US as to which country is a source of fentanyl and where migrants are coming from. And then, I guess if I rocked up, they'd just look at me and be like, have you got any chicken on you?
And here we are. We're in the bread and butter of the Castors. A two goal deficit. 5 minutes left. They've already pulled three come back from behind miracles in this playoffs.
Yeah, they will make that 5 minute stop time seem like half an hour.
And the question is, do they have it left in them?
Yeah, exactly. There's a few young bucks on the Castors team, but this whole series has been sort of experience versus youthful exuberance. So we'll just see if they've still got the legs for another comeback this deep in the playoff series. But again, for those of you who might be a little bit newer to Hockey House, one of our wrinkles is it's mostly run clock, but with the game this tight, the last 5 minutes, we will get a stoppage for every whistle. So this Castors will have effectively more time in this last 5 minutes to mount that comeback if they can do it one more time this season.
And the guy they really miss in this situation is Andre Kozak. Not in tonight for the lineup.
He's a guy who only needs a couple of opportunities to get a couple of goals.
And the high stick is called. Little fancy footwork out from the corner there. The time is called. And look at that. The clock is perfectly synced.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The first time I've been able to make it happen in the entire game, I just pressed pause and looked up and it's 3:55.
Of course, I thought Punchy was trying to give me some secret code for something to talk about, but he's just literally
proud
celebrating his reaction time on the stop-start. This is, some hockey players practice their reaction time with those balls that kind of bounce off the wall in random directions, whereas we practice it on how quickly you can hit a stop-start button.
Yeah, hit a click, baby.
On a computer screen.
Oh, and Chung's going to drive. 3 minutes left. Castors will get desperate. We'll have to keep an eye on Emery. There's a possibility that he leaves the net sooner than later.
Abe just wanted to get it out from under his feet, but got a little bit too much wheat bix on that one.
With 3:19 left, the Dragons could be the 12th Backyard Cup champion in BHL, FHL Hockey House history.
And I believe, and you'll know this, was last year their first one?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, funny enough, the Dragons' first cup came in 2014, the second year, and they were an expansion team. That was their first cup, and they were led by a guy who's quite popular in the Auckland scene, Mr. Justin Daigle was on the team.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty hard to beat
He was a replacement that year for Alex Polozov. And the Dragons came in. They picked a team right upstairs here at Avondale. And a mere 8 months later, they lifted the cup for the very first time as an expansion team. Castors, on the other hand, they've been to the dance many, many times. I believe they have 3 cups to their name. And if they can make this happen, they may have a chance for a 4th. But it's going to be tough against this squad.
Yeah, as I said off mic, I said it on mic, but when you were busy doing beer run and cup gathering and etc., I mentioned
I wear many hats.
I mentioned there are a lot of members of the Hockey House family cheering for the Toe Dragons, not out of allegiance or love for any of them, but just because there'll be a scrimmage on Thursday. And, sometimes you just got to look after number one and get your ice time.
And here we go back to the play. D'Amato takes it behind the net. He'll put it up the wall to Simon. He's pickpocketed by Abe. Tries to find Wani up on the wing. They've moved all the big guns up front now, late in the game here. With 3 minutes remaining, Toe Dragons are forced to go back in their zone. It's being chased by Wani. Up to D'Amato. D'Amato over to Kopdev. Kopdev steps in, tries to take a low shot. Emery kicks that one to the corner. Comes around to D'Amato. D'Amato put it up top to McDonald. 2:34 remains. Demo will move around the side.
Oh, puck got left behind there.
And Steven can't get out of the zone, but McDonald to control and push to his brother. Reed Cole, just pretending he's on the line, pretending he's part of the blue line, came out of nowhere there.
Well, he was pinching for quite a while. That's what Jaden was thumping his stick about, and I noticed that the Castors were essentially defending short-handed for a bit because Reed Cole was pinching so aggressively.
And they sent it up to him.
Yeah. I literally thought that the Castors might have been on a penalty. What he missed was 6.
And Emery tried to go out of the net, and he's come back in. Castors lucky they didn't get caught with 6 on there. Now Emery heads to the bench with 1:30 remaining. Fusick throws it in. Offside is called. 1:30 remains. Simon will go back. Simon will find Kadlik. He'll have an open cage to shoot at. Eric Chung is laying down in front of it. And Fusick makes the play to keep it out. Fusick makes another play. D'Amato just toying with it, and finally he'll bury it to the bottom corner of the net. And with 1:10 remaining, the Dragons have all but sealed this up.
It's not quite enough to push us out of stop time, but they must feel pretty confident with that kind of advantage with just a minute to play. One more goal will push us back into running clock. But of course, I think we'll see the Toe Dragons were pretty happy to play 4 corners at times in this third period, even with the 3 goal, then the 2 goal lead. Obviously, Castors are going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this. But what we saw is we're kind of seeing Toe Dragons defenders take up offensive positions in this third period when they're playing with a big lead. The power play to start the period, they started with 2 defenders and Luke Simon playing centre, and this time they've got 2 defensive players with Habakern clearly standing amongst the forwards. So I think they're still trying to play their game, but have a little bit more defensive acumen to just close this out.
Yeah, with half a minute to go now, it's pretty clear that the Toad Dragons are going to win their second consecutive cup. It'll be interesting next year, a full reset. Can they do it again? They'll have the same front office, but we're going to see what happens. Just 10 seconds remaining now. And we're a bit behind on the clock on this one.
Yeah, Castors more just playing for pride at this point, attempting to just get one more on the board, have it look a little prettier for anyone who reads the just
and
reads
that's
the score
going
and
to do
else.
it. We got cup champions. The Backyard Cup will be going to the Toad Dragons.
Looks like we're going to see Marku get his kit off again. I'll keep on talking some nonsense while you go hand out a cup in your commish roll.
Yes, thanks for watching tonight. Hold on, stick around. We got the presentation of the MVP, as well as the Backyard Cup, as well as Game 4 of the Cones and Donkeys coming up.
All right, well, you just... Well, you heard Punchy say it on the broadcast, and you probably just heard him through the microphone as well. Toad Dragons, back-to-back champions, and a lot of it to do with their front office of Marku, and I'm not actually sure who the other person in their front office is off the top of my head. Awesome job. Some of the hardest workers in the scouting teams. Turn the Toad Dragons around into a winning product, and really the Tip Insects had an outstanding regular season in the FHL as well. Couldn't quite go all the way in the playoffs, but yeah, that whole franchise was cooking hot with their whole front office. So obviously we're coming to a reset, which for those of you who, I think most of you listening know what's going on, but for those of you who don't, we have a draft night every year, and in most years teams get to protect about half their squad, and then the draft night they sit down and redraft and buy half their franchise, really, because they can protect half their BHL squad and half their FHL squad. But the reset happens every 4 years. When we talk about the reset in FHL, BHL terms, we're not talking about the economic great reset that some of you might believe in. We're just talking about hockey. When that happens, basically, you only get the GM and captain of both the FHL and BHL franchises for each. I'll shut up and let Punchy, you can listen to Punchy on the mic.
Coming up first, we have the Blair Clark Memorial Trophy for the playoff MVP. Through 11 games, put up 15 points, 13 apples, 27 points, 4 penalty minutes. Everybody likes to know about those. And a ridiculous plus 16. Number 91, Ivan Knockout.
MVP for the Toad Dragons going to young Ivan Damatow, of course, of Botany Swarm and Ice Blacks fame as well. So really showing his class in this competition.
You gotta give the man a Heine to fill it up later. And for the third time in franchise history, the first time for this guy as the captain of the squad, number 3, Ryan McDonald, please come up and accept the Backyard Cup.
Ryan McDonald, despite going coast to coast all night, still has the energy to lift the cup, although there's a little bit of formality. Got to pose with the commish first before we get to lift it high above your head. shows you just how much of a team-first environment we have here. There's no second person to lift the cup. They're just collecting it as a team and celebrating as one. You really love to see it. Just something unintelligible and yelling. Luke Simon doing his lap, showing off to a few of his friends. They're enjoying that. Next to pick it up is your series MVP, Ivan Damatau. Going back to the same crew, got their phones out. If you can't do it for the gram, what is the point? Snelly Cat, it's not your fault. You're a BHL Cup champion. Bryce Rouse, another in the recently promoted to the BHL ranks, celebrating it with a championship. Hey, why not?
And there they are, a bunch of beauticians, the back-to-back champion Toe Dragons. You got Richard Calzo getting his hands on a cup.
Yeah, I'm just sort of course, because we have the situation where half the team would have been in the team last year due to the protection. Maybe they pick up some of them again in the draft system if they already know them but couldn't protect them. How many first-time obviously we've got Habakern and Sneller, first-time champions out of this group, I believe.
Awesome story. John Snell played exclusively in the FHL till this year, made the squad out of camp.
Yeah.
Brings his first cup home. I think Bryce has been to the dance I think this is his second trip to the dance. I'm not sure if he's got one already. Calzo, I know he's got one under his belt.
Well, I don't want to speculate, but that smile on Rouse's face would suggest that maybe this is a first time.
And Calzo has been in the league for 12 seasons now. A day one vet. And you know, these boys have worked all summer for this, and some would say this is the hardest trophy in recreational sport to win in this country.
Well, I've never won an FHL playoff series, let alone touched a cup, so I can attest to that firsthand. So Nobles nicknamed me the individual Toronto Maple Leaf, which I don't love.
And there's Marku Mohalar and Johnny Snell.
Yeah, Marku, how the hell are you? Pretty bloody good now that you're lifting the second trophy.
I'm sure
we'll see him head out into the shed and head back onto the ice with not much on. It's his usual celebration tradition.
And you got your wish there, Joachim. There will be a scrimmage on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, just enough time for my gear to dry out from tonight, then Wednesday. We'll be back at it again. Well, you know, as I say, if I can't seem to win an FHL playoff series, so that means I've got to get all the ice time I can get. So thanks to the boys, I'll be back here on Thursday, already looking to get to improve before next summer. Maybe raise that draft stock just a little.
Yeah, this year.
Or maybe lower it so that I get drafted by an all-star team.
And this year we will be going to a reset draft, so all the players will be put back into the pot, and we will start anew. So we're going to be back with you folks in about 15 minutes. The stream will run along here, and we will have the time as we count down to Game 4 of the FHL Final, featuring the Donkeys as well as Lake Owens, who will look to get their first cup and get this sucker started.
Yeah, will we see another cup lifted in the building tonight, or will we see a Game 5 on Thursday? We'll be back in 15 minutes to start answering that question for you.
That will be the thing that we're going to find out tonight, and we'll be back with you here in just under 20 minutes. And here we go. We're almost ready to go here. We have the FHL Game 4 coming up right away. And you're joining us for warm-ups. There's a minute left in the warm-up, and we are just getting ready to peel into a game here. The Cones comes into the series up 2-1. Looking to replicate what the Toad Dragons just did. Spencer Emery has been the story of these playoffs, posting absolutely ridiculous record here. 8-1-1 in the Cones net, letting in sub 1 goal per game, recording 4 shutouts along the way. Been an absolute stud in the net. He'll be taking his warm-ups. And down the other end, we have Sam Narian making the start for the Donkeys. Sam Narian making the start for the Donkeys. He's posted himself a decent record, 7-3 through the first 10 games of the Donkeys run here. As you see them warming up, some of the players to watch in orange, of course, number 19, the stalwart Benji Poppin. His close friend and eternal buddy there that he's chatting to pregame, Rob Moon. Jeremy Glazman, number 2. Kieran Stewart, number 6, coming in, taking a shot there. And we're about to get going here. I'm Punchy. And here we go. This is Game 4 of the Front Yard Cup Final. Again, congratulations to the Toad Dragons. Toad Dragons winning their 2nd straight Backyard Cup. Those boys will have a long night ahead of them. And we'll see if the Cones can join them in Promised Land here. We got a big, beautiful trophy ready to be handed out. If that is the case tonight. Looks like the Cones have a full roster this evening. Swamp Donkeys look to be missing 1 or 2. But we got an exciting Game 4 coming up. I will be joined very shortly by none other than Joachim Yaksha. He's done an absolutely wonderful job commentating the first part of this series. A lot of time doing it solo. Tonight we got it figured out. We get Fipsy here on the camera, doing a hell of a job himself. And of course we got Emma Child and Rob Murphy in on the score bench, our referees for this evening's game. Neil Weir-Smith, one of our refs for tonight, and of course the head referee of the BHL, always wearing his traditional hoodie and elbow pads on the outside, the Aaron Somerville. It looks like he's going to take the drop. He will drop the first initial puck of this game. Lining up on the draw for the Cones, we have Aaron Kumar, Jose Garcia, and Dave Colo. Across from them, we got Bruford, Kaliniak, and Maidman. And just like that, Game 4 has come to a start. And off the draw, it'll go off to the side, and it'll be controlled by Stewart. Stewart will go cross ice to Bruford. Bruford with a little tap ahead, he'll get it back. Then he'll throw it down deep in the zone. Emery comes out to play it, but can't quite handle it. Eli takes it in the corner. Eli will throw it around to the near side. Kuma. It's kept in by Stewart. Stewart shoots it wide of the net. Maidman will win the race to get there. He picks it up on the half wall, throws it down deep to Kaliniak. Kaliniak tries to center. It's pushed out by Garcia. Ashley Richmond, one of the solid women that play in the FHL competition. And Kaliniak will dump it down deep into the zone. Noble will come back and regroup. Push it up to Kumar. Kumar will flick it the length of the ice, and he'll go off for a change. Coming over the boards will be Tim Summerfield. Noble and Kumar head off. Tim Butterfield will turn the corner. He'll leave it for Blackett. Blackett will mishandle it. Pushes it across to Eric Richardson. Mooney with the interception. He'll get a shot on Emery, and those will be Emery's first saves of the game. So an early start here. A little bit sloppy through the neutral zone. This play is significantly slower than the previous game.
Well, that's the dip from FHL to BHL. You get to see both in action. So apologies for being late. Speaking of FHL to BHL, had to spend a little bit of time telling Stephen Richardson how well he played stepping up a league.
Absolutely. He put on a wonderful performance right here. Sad for the Castors. They just didn't have the numbers here at the end. Ran into injuries quite a bit. It's a long playoff run. But again, congratulations to the Toad Dragons taking home their second cup. And getting back to this game, it'll be back to the point the Cones have a little bit of pressure. Jordan Sinclair, he's one of those guys who has come up and really taken over in this league and figured out the game of ice hockey. Longtime inliner, making the conversion. Eric Richardson will find Butterfield. Butterfield will chip it up the wall to Ireton. Kieran Stewart jumps into the play. He'll get it at the blue line. Tries the center. Tim Butterfield pushes him off the puck. Tyler Ireton will take it. He can't get it out. It's pulled in by Lazowski. Lazowski has a shot. Emery steers out of side. Paul Brunton throws it up the wall. It's kept in. Butterfield throws it up the wall. Tyler Ireton will come in. Pushes it over to Jordan Sinclair. And just like that, the Cones are up 1-0. A beautiful, innocent play. Innocent play turned dangerous real quickly. As Butterfield threw it up the wall, it was picked up by Ireton, centering pass over to Sinclair. And just like that, the Cones are well on their way, and they have an early lead.
Just as you say, seemingly an innocent play out of nothing, but the Cones kept with it, made it happen. No one on the Swamp Donkeys picking up on that weak side, so I can't remember who you said the goal scorer said was basically able to walk in pretty much unchallenged, and Ty had no trouble finding him. And of course, anytime you find yourself trailing in a game with the brick wall of Emery at the other end, as you say, the FHL save percentage a lot higher.
You don't need many.
No, they don't need many, and getting the first one is absolutely crucial for them. They can play with the confidence of having Spence back there.
Little tidbit here, the Cones have been able to find the net first in almost every game of this series.
Well,
and the goal was scored by Sinclair from Ireton and Butterfield at 12:44 of the period.
Oh, well, Punchy's pointing out that we have sexy graphics showing that for us, so I don't need to guess. We can just read, as you folks at home can. I think the one thing that helps the Cones score first every game is just how unbeatable Emery is at this level. Well, not completely unbeatable, but very tough to beat.
And as you say that, he makes two more saves. And it looks like we have a penalty coming up.
The Swamp Donkeys, this is the classic case of defense winning championships, but the Swamp Donkeys have been a high-powered offense all throughout the season, and they'll have another opportunity to
show that. It looks like Chris Noble will head to the box. He's not happy. Yeah. He will debate the call.
Hockey players always debate it. I've been involved with many team sports and hockey most of my life, and I'm still waiting for the occasion where a ref is actually going to turn around and be like, actually, no, you're right. Change my mind.
Just let them go.
We still try every time.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Trying to get in their head for the next call more than overturn this one, I'm sure, most of the time.
It's good to see that Yoakum's not giving up on the night. As I look over and he takes a solid bite out of a cookie, which means, I think, does it equal one cookie equals one extra beer now?
I'm still nursing this can very much slowly. I know.
There's nothing that goes better with a Heineken than chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, literally. I was just like, what with the kitchen closed, what out of all these packaged foods, what gives me the most calories and mass per dollar input, and a $4 cookie looks like the best option.
I don't think you made a bad choice there.
No, it literally is the most mass and calorie per dollar.
Considering that this broadcast is brought to you by Cookie Time.
Yeah. No.
Shout out to Cookie Time. Next time, make it Cookie Time.
My favorite is the you can get about 1.2 kg worth of Cookie Time at Costco for $20, but in the little individual wraps inside the big case.
Oh, when you do venture down to Tecpo for a trip, if you do go to Tecpo one day to play on that glorious rink, always make sure to stop in the beautiful town of Geraldine.
Oh yeah, you can get like the bags of like the
bags
broken
of
chunks,
the offcuts.
Right?
The offcuts.
You're absolutely speaking my language. I think the last time I used to go to university in the South Island, and I think one of the greatest days was stopping off in there on a road trip back from somewhere.
That's where you get some cookies. It's delicious.
Yeah, that'll fuel you for the rest of your ODR action. No, I think Tekapo every year I kind of remember that's a thing as people are already going to it. So now I've already got in touch with someone about remembering me for next year. So we'll eventually get there.
And that's the one.
But I'll make sure I'll have done a Goons trip before then. So I still haven't done a Goons trip, but it's definitely on my to-do list for the next summer season. As I'll get involved with the Goons somewhere, probably the Queenstown trip.
And the Goons are open to every Hockey House member that has signed up for the Hockey House. Ooh. And that looked like it was kept onside, but it's ruled offside. And unbeknownst to anybody there, the Cones killed off that penalty. Cones killed it off quite quickly. Noble back joining the play now.
Yeah, it's not often Noble can sneak anywhere, but he snuck out of the penalty box without us noticing.
Yeah, he's not a sneaker pimp.
Yeah.
And Noble just literally watches two guys walk right by him into a 3-on-1. Tyler Ireton brings it up. He'll circle back. He gets it through the middle. It's managed by Eli, thrown up to Brad Barnes. Brad Barnes got the monkey off his back last game, picking up 2 goals, his first and second of his BHL career. What better time to do it than right in the playoffs?
Absolutely. I couldn't believe that when I was on the commentary last week. Well, that's Disney movie stuff to score your first ever Hockey House career goals in a winning finals game.
Absolutely. And it looked like, and number 20 comes in, and he makes a couple beautiful plays, but he lost the handle. That's Will Iodine making a couple plays through the middle there. Got himself a shot on net, but again, Emery closes the door, as he's done all season for the Cones.
He's been so unbeatable at FHL level that, honestly, I think a one-on-one like that, you may as well just circle back out and see if one of your players can then provide a block or a screen. You could almost just turn down the one-on-one to try and screen him later, because I think it's the only way to score against him at FHL level is take his eyes away.
And the cool thing about Emery is he joined last year just before the playoffs, and he jumped in as an E-Bug, and E-Bugged quite a bit throughout the playoffs last year, earning himself a spot in this year's draft. He was taken quite high, taken in the second round by the Pylons. Pylons at first looked for a trade, could not find a suitable partner, and he ended up being a backup for Chaba at the BHL level, and oddly enough, him and Chaba had very similar numbers throughout the year for the big club.
It goes to show we might need to talk expansion. We've got. Did you have a waiting list in terms of skaters and whatnot as well? You've got more than. I've said it to other people. Like you get a case of someone like Spencer, who, in my opinion, is clearly too good to play FHL. But I hate to see people missing out on the fun of Hockey House, because we're all just here to have a few beers and have fun. I'd also hate to see a situation where a goalie is told, no, you're too good for FHL, but every BHL slot's full.
I think that this year there could definitely, going into the reset, I would almost guarantee that no team is going to let Emery slide low.
Yeah.
So I could see him definitely making it up, but some of these goalies
but then
have
again,
performed at the FHL level, and you look at Jaden Pert this evening. He
exactly,
won a cup.
but then you get, but that's, you know, even if Emery gets picked up by a BHL team, which you'd have to say he's deserving of, it just means there's another BHL quality goaltender that's going to be looking for a home somewhere. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
I think this year we might see a little bit of a retraction. I think there will be a couple openings moving into this year's draft. I believe possibly the Ice Holes will be looking after a goaltender, as Mike Hopkinson did announce before the beginning of this year that this would be his last game in the pipes, or last season in the pipes. He did really well. He was a long time, but he's also been playing as a player in the FHL and quite enjoying himself.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I just don't see Emery sliding. I just don't see him not finding a home next year. And when you look at the FHL goaltending over the years, it's always been really, really good. Jaden Pert, again, he's been one of those guys. He played in the FHL for several years. This year, the Toad Dragons took a risk on him in bringing him up and making him a BHL starter.
Well,
and look at that. He's got a cup.
Sorry, I don't want this to turn into the Emery show, but I've just never seen him have an off game. Like even last season, and you know, Jaden Pert is a great goalie. He's like in the mix for the Admirals, and he deserves to be. And when he played FHL, he had, I think his overall goal percentage was under 2, which for a goalie is pretty high. But there was one game, our my Boucherons team put 6 on him. We just, I guess, managed to outplay enough, and he wasn't quite having his...
Oh, and the Cones have another breakaway here.
We outplayed them as a team, and he didn't have his best day at the office, and I guess it happens, but I just haven't seen Spencer have that even once.
No, absolutely. He's been a stellar. He's been stellar this year. And as we sit there and we talk about Emery, we have a breakaway at the other end, and Sam Narian, another first-year goaltender this year that did spend time on the wait list. Both of these goalies last year, neither one of them had a home.
Yeah.
And they both came in as E-Bugs, and both of them were able to find homes this year. And Narian turns away 2 more. It comes back to Ireton in the middle.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Narian, I've played a scrimmage against him, and I've played FHL games against him. He's no mug at all either. But he just kind of is getting left behind the fact that he's playing against an absolute brick wall.
He had a great performance for the Goons this year, too. Anyways, let's get back to this game. We have Paul Brunton throws it down to Sinclair. Barnes will get it back at the top. It's picked off by Lazowski. Lazowski will leave it down in the corner for Stewart. Sterling, Brunton squeezes in. He'll keep it in the zone. He gets a shot on net. Lazowski will chip it around to Bruford. Bruford sees Kliniak coming through the middle, but he can't connect with the pass, and that's going to go down the rink for icing. So with 1:23 remaining, the draw will be down in the Swamp Donkey zone. The Cones clinging on to a 1-0 lead. A much better shot count than they've been able to defend in the last couple games. This game here, they're looking at 6-6 in the shots. Oh, and Emery takes one right off the face mask there. With under a minute to go here. Kumar pushes it into the corner. Goes back to Maidment. Maidment moves it up to the top. It's picked off by Kumar. Kumar's got a 2-on-1 with Seb. Has a shot. Sebastian can't corral the rebound. Glazeman will join the rush here. Under 24 seconds left. Mooney steps around the defender. Mooney pushes in on Emery, and Emery again covers up. With 20 seconds left. We're looking to head to the break. 1-1 here. Or 1-0 for the Cones. Does not look like they're going to get the puck drop here.
No, the Cones in no hurry at all to get back on side, showing their veteran experience. Speaking of veterans, Colo's animated. We've both got headsets on, music's pumping, but I can still hear Colo over all that, which is...
Colo is an absolute backyard beauty.
Par for the course. I still remember a time last year when I was on the music and microphone and had one mic in my hand to do announcements and one in my pocket, and Cola was asking for the mic. I was like, no, you're like Obelix. You've fallen into the magic potion. We don't need to amplify you. You just yell.
How about you be Noble and I'll be the referees?
Okay. What did you penalize me for, bro?
Christopher, all I'm trying to tell you is that you're handsome. I like your beard line. I'm wondering where you got it cut.
I just do it myself in front of the mirror.
Oh, and just like that, Bryce Rouse jumps on into it. Bryce, come have a seat with us here. How you doing, buddy?
Bryce is... I was going to take off my headset.
I got the answer.
What did he say?
It's his first cup ever.
Oh, there we go. He's loving it, enjoying himself. I was going to... He can have the headset, but I thought he was more interested in grabbing a beer.
No, you interview him.
Oh, apparently I'm going to interview the Rebel Rouser. Bryce Rouse,
alrighty.
Congratulations. First ever BHL Cup. How does it feel?
Oh, mate, it's bloody awesome, eh? Like, I was just, Punchy and me were talking the other day, and he was just saying how hard it is to actually win it. And I'm also thinking, like, this is probably the peak of my hockey career. Like, no, no kidding. It probably doesn't get, it's not going to get any better than this. This is my most favourite hockey league that I play in the country, so nothing's going to beat that.
No, it is kind of, the spirit of this league is certainly correct. The beers, the boys, and I think that probably makes it more fun. I think the Winter League, I won a Winter League last year, and you just kind of like say cheers and go home, whereas here looks like everyone sellies properly, which is definitely a nice one to win. So how many years in the leagues combined have you won an FHL, or is this literally your first cup across both?
No, so I started in the BHL, played for about, I think, 4 seasons, and I had 2 or 3 years off, got pretty heavy and fat, mate, to be honest. So then when I came back, I thought...
Don't say that so close to Punchy.
I better just play in the FHL to, try burn some of that extra blubber off, and then, went up the following year, a couple of seasons with the Ice Holes, and then got drafted into the Toe Dragons this season.
Exactly. Well, you must have... been rapt to hear your name called by the defending champions, but I can imagine that comes with a bit of pressure and expectation to deliver. How do you feel on draft night?
Oh, I wasn't really too fussed, like what team I went to. Like, every team in this league's got a pretty good aura about them, so it's not like, oh man, I wish I wasn't drafted into that team or whatever. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, sweet as, kind of get on with it. And then once I stepped onto the ice with them for the first time that season, I thought, jeebus, these guys are pretty lit, Dalmatau, obviously MVP, and yes, they're bloody good.
Yeah, so you obviously knew you were in a pretty good team pretty early on, but at what point of the season did you start thinking, okay, beer league, few beers with the boys, this is fun too, we might be able to do something this year?
Like, after the first game, I
was that quick? You could see the quality on display.
Easily, man. Like, I can't even remember who we played or what the score was, but I just knew, wow, this team is like really, really good. We did have a little bit of a slump where I think we lost maybe 3 or 4 in a row. I remember talking about it with someone, and he's like, "Ooh, that's not good." And I'm like, it's all right. The boys will pick it back up, and they definitely did.
Yeah, it is one of those things where mid-season, probably again with so many NZIHL players in the team, the midsummer slump, they probably mentally need a bit of a break from going like winter to summer. But then, right as our league's ramping up and the games are going to matter, they're also preparing for their season, which does matter to them. Could you sort of see a shift in that as they were like ramping up their pre-season?
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely didn't see any fatigue, even though a couple of the guys, Dima Koptev, Ivan Dalmatau, Luke Simon, they've been coming sometimes straight from swarm training over at Botany, straight to the game here at Avondale. And Dalmatau played 6 games last week.
Wow. That's the exuberance of youth. I think like if I did one training, I'd be having a pizza and watching the boys as opposed to jumping on for a game.
Yeah, I did 5 games, but he did 6, and 2 of them were, full stoppage time. So
Yeah. Whereas you're talking about, I guess, 3 BHL games and 2 AHL games with 15-minute running clock.
yeah, that's right. So probably only half of what he played, and even though in the BHL he was probably getting more ice time, obviously, because he's line 1. Every time that line was rested, would chuck them out.
True.
Why not?
I got to, sorry, I've been a little bit almost too serious for the nature of our broadcast. I noticed you and Snell are both first-time Cup champions. He did the full nudie run. I think you did tarps off and just the hockey shorts still, right?
No, I got out on the ice to get a little video of that, because there's no way I was missing that. Someone's got to get that on camera, and how good that he did it right in front of the FHL guys too.
Well, yeah, the whole bench, and of course, I think there's some women and a few children present, but Sneller's just letting it all hang loose. The old elephant's purse was out.
Yeah. I haven't heard that one before, but yeah, you're right.
I literally made it up on the spot. I don't know if it makes sense, but we'll go with it.
And I reckon it's good nature. We're all humans at the end of the day. Everyone's got a bit of something here and there. Doesn't matter what it is, but it was bloody good. Someone had to do it, and John kind of stepped up.
We got a penalty to someone that apparently I'd much rather talk about Snell's nudie run, but there's a penalty to Sinclair in the box, so we will have the Swamp Donkeys on a power play trying to claw their way back into this game and beat the brick wall of Emery. What I'm impressed about is at least Sneller doesn't have my affliction. Like Sneller and I are both at different degrees of balding, but I have the unfortunate affliction of I can grow hair seemingly.
Half the stick just been flying into the top of the back net there.
Yeah, that's Well, he'll really hope his team can get back into this game, because nothing could rip your undies more than breaking a several $100 stick and losing an FHL final game.
No, absolutely not.
So I think one in an evening's enough. But yeah, I'm impressed by the fact that just how slick Sneller is all over, whereas, as I say, I seem to grow hair everywhere apart from where I want it. So good on him for being consistent at least. But what do you make of... So we've just got to describe the scene for everyone, because he did manage to do it during the break of the stream, so those at home didn't quite see it. But Sneller came out, did a full lap with the cup, with everything dangling, as you can imagine, and then he handed off the cup to, I think, you and some of the other boys. And what did you think of the swan dive?
I knew that would hurt, because the ice was pretty rough still there.
Yeah, exactly. We hadn't had the Zambo out.
No. Oh, almost a goal there.
Yeah, it's hard to say almost a goal when Spencer's in net. But,
he got up, and you can see he's like, oh, that didn't really feel good. So you might need a couple of days off touching it.
Well, yeah, I'd say so. Well, especially because, Sneller's got a similar complexion and hair colour to the both of us. I like to say that I'm brown, but there's definitely some ginge in there, whereas you two are just straight up ginge, no hiding. And we red up quicker than most people, so I'm sure Sneller's going to be red for a while. He's not going to be able to touch it himself, and he's been talking about how much he loves the Tinder. If he unveils himself to anyone, they're going to see that redness as reason for suspicion and probably not let him near them either.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a red flag, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you did there.
All right, mate, I'm going to go join the boys.
Yeah, exactly. We're keeping you from your post-match beers, but
you're
thanks
right,
for
mate.
chatting
I'll have
to us.
One now, don't worry.
Nice. Congratulations once again.
Cheers,
and
boys.
We'll
Thank
see you
you
next year.
Hey, what a beautiful guy that guy is. Right?
Absolute. You look up beautician, there's probably Bryce Rouse might be next to that in the hockey dictionary.
And it's so rewarding to see a guy like that just smiling ear to ear because he's a champion.
Well, as he said in the interview, the way that he started at BHL level and then had to build himself back up, kind of came and slummed it with me and my people at the FHL level, and then he's not only made his way back to where he wants to be, but now lifting the cup at that level.
There's no slumming involved. Hockey is hockey, and it's beautiful to be playing that in a country where you can come to the rink in shorts.
Exactly. No, I kid. I don't kid. I am incredibly grateful to be a career FHLer to this day.
I would say that you got a BHL shift in your future. That's absolutely true. Don't choke on your cookie. The draw will come down to the left of there, and
Yeah, I won't try and choke to death and die at the idea of me ever playing FHL, but if you're only promising me one shift, maybe one day if I'm in a franchise where they don't want to get the under 10-minute men penalty, they're like, hey, just put on all the gear and take one shift to save us from 4 minutes. Stranger things have happened.
oh, you could choose to do that one-day retirement thing like they do in the NHL. You know,
Well,
that'll be me.
That'll be the problem. Like I've spoken a bit. Like obviously, I'm already 43, not exactly playing at an elite level, but an okay level. And I'm like, part of me, you know, you've seen that 96-year-old who's playing in Minnesota. I'm like, goals. But I think if I ever did get a BHL shift, I'd be like, okay, whatever, I'm out.
right off into the sunset.
And then if anyone asks, be like, well, I was playing BHL, and then, you know, I kind of got busy with work and family and whatnot.
And life.
Yeah, and it happens.
Kaliniak will come up the wing. He can't get the shot off. Oh, jeez. And he goes down hard.
I'm looking for a raised arm, but not seeing one yet.
Brunton fell into him there. Was not intentional. Kyle is down on one knee. He's wanting a call. Freaking out on the ref. It really looked like Brunton lost an edge there.
Yeah, much like I've never, as discussed before, I've never seen a ref raise a penalty and then the penalised player talk his way out of it. I'm still also yet to see a non-call and then someone talk him into it. But we will try and we will try. We're nothing if not optimistic, us hockey players.
And with 5 minutes remaining here in the second period, you have Maidment and Ireton, who were both punching each other in the head last game.
Well,
They're on the draw.
That's the magic of the hockey house, is you can literally come to blows and then be good friends later. Not that we'd encourage the coming to blows. Please try and avoid that.
Oh, and Blackett will stop the pass out front from Mooney. Blackett will chuck it up the wall. Kieran Stewart will regroup. It'll go in on Maidment. He'll make a circle, give it to Mooney. Mooney gives it back to Maidment. Maidment will have a shot, but Spencer easily grabs that with the glove.
Again, at least it looks like the Swamp Donkeys are trying to get bodies to net, but just not quite in the shooting lane well enough there.
Credit to the Cones, though. After getting absolutely lit up in the first game, they have come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, no, they've clearly, you know, we've spoken a lot about Emery on this broadcast, but they do have good quality players on the back end that can restrict shot counts.
And this is very easily one of those FHL teams that absolutely dominated the regular season.
Yeah.
Alongside the Tip Insects, who never actually lost a game in regulation.
Well, pretty much most of the chatter around Hockey House circles was even halfway through the season. They just saw the Tip Insects and the Swamp Donkeys as the battle of champions in waiting. There was a lot of talk about the conference system as that being the true final, but the Cones have come here and sort of said, no, you didn't talk to us about that, and we're not here to make up the numbers.
And these are actually the second ranked team in the Front Yard Conference, as well as the Frozen Rivers Conference top seeded team, which was the Cones. So the Cones are being in this final is no mistake. They did put together a very good regular season, and that's going to be offside. And Kyle Kaliniak is losing his bloody American head on the bench there.
I've never known Americans to be anything but level-headed and chill.
Oh, they're always level-headed. They always have very good, productive things to say.
Whereas Jolin just tried to use his stick to like illustrate a part of the ice that he felt the puck was on. Always nice when he's just trying to help out, and a little bit of stick entanglement and washing.
Aaron Somerville giving Kyle an explanation of the rules over there. So with 2:36
as usual,
left.
the Canadian peacemaker.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
There's probably at least 6 sorries in there.
Hey, sorry, bud, but sorry. I shouldn't butcher your accent when you could just say it as it's meant to be heard in front of us.
Aydin takes it wide. Oh, he gets it on the back door. He has a chance. And he bumps into the 15-year-old Seb Butterfield. Oh, and Emery's out of his net, and he has to make a couple saves. And he holds that one on the back of the net. With just under 2 minutes remaining here in the second period, 1-0 lead. In most games, I would say that's a dangerous lead to have. In a game with Spencer Emery in the net, it could be enough.
Yeah, Swamp Donkeys have turned the tide a little bit. I think you mentioned that the shot count was even, but Swamp Donkeys have taken a 15-9 lead and are starting to try and turn the screws here, but the Cones will
And they have
hold
the
tight.
right strategy now. You just kind of got to throw everything at the net and see what happens.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. You kind of need
Offside is
to
called.
create a bit of carnage. You can't throw anything at the net just kind of naked or unseen, but they're looking to make him fight through screens and hopefully already have traffic in the crease if he leaves any rebounds. Or I think that's the only two ways you can beat him. I mentioned the first way is to take his eyes away, and the second is like that, that follow up and those loose bobbles and those second chance opportunities will be.
Well, I feel like they've had a couple of chances here, even on wide shots that bounce off that back wall. Like instantly, here you go. You got a 4-on-2 going in on him. Oh, and there you go. That's the type of shot you need. A shot
Exactly.
on net and a follow-up behind it.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't just quite land for them. That is kind of what they need. They need to embrace and cause carnage. But I think it must be a hard mindset to get into for a team that has spent the whole season being so slick offensively and dominating with smooth skating and beautiful passing moves that stick. And they've really scored a lot of beautiful goals across the regular season and even in their half of the playoff draw. So to change that mindset to we've got to get dirty and muck it up can be a hard thing to accept to do.
And they've had three of the top scorers in the league this year, but during this series, they have been quiet.
Yeah.
It goes back out to the point to Stewart. Stewart will throw it wide. Oh, and Bruford will get it just as the period comes to an end. So here we go. We have the Cones sitting just 20 minutes away from their first FHL championship.
Yeah, the Cones 20 minutes away from glory, and everyone else in the Hockey House community 20 minutes away from knowing whether we're scrimmaging for an hour or two on Thursday.
To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. I know for one thing, I'll be lacing them up. It'll be the last one of the year, so here we go.
Yeah, we could definitely. I've been spoiled for ice time across the first two. I think we had 12 skaters last week and maybe 14 or so today. But that was, of course, with everyone thinking there's one more opportunity. I'm sure if we get either a 1 hour or especially a 2 hour scrimmage, most of the Hockey House is going to be like, last chance to get a scrimmage and a beer with the boys. You'd want to be here early to miss whatever cut off you're setting.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for all of us to be a hero just one last time before the winter kicks off. And I guess if we all want to be heroes, I guess we can't invite Spencer Emery, can we?
I'm looking your way and being like, yeah, I know you need free tendies, but he I think for Spencer's sake, he's been doubling up games in this FHL series and effectively, as you say, played a whole series in the postseason. It's not that I'm scared of him. I just think he probably. I'm not saying we don't want to play him. I'm just saying the man is earned his rest. Is what I'm going with.
Very much he's earned his rest.
Yeah.
So
again, every scrimmager is probably thinking the Cones better finish this series today because with the energy levels he has, he might just well still jump in the scrimmage even if there is a game 5.
So you had me concerned, and I was very curious as to what it is, and I've now looked it up. Spencer Emery, through this season alone, this will be his 39th game of the year.
Wow. It's just really double me. I played, and I missed a game through having a cold, so actually we played 15 regular season games. I missed one of them and then 3 playoff games, so I played 17 games.
For the Cones this year, his record has been 22 games played, 15 W's, 4 losses, and 9 shutouts.
That's wild.
For an overall 1.31 average. Absolutely filthy.
Oh,
He's going to love to watch this back and see how much we've been playing tummy sticks with him.
Yeah, we've pumped his tyres so much they're close to bursting.
Oh,
we got Lazowski taking a seat, and once again, he's of course wanted to debate that with Aaron, but Aaron's big A's held firm.
That's going to be Lazowski for body contact on the play. There is no hitting in this league. There's hockey contact, as we call it.
Oh, Maidman with a short-handed break.
Oh, and he's not going to get a chance. It fell off his stick at the last second.
There's also good on the cones because they knocked out my Boucherons in the.
Chris Noble floats one in from the point, and it's going to find its way home. A power play goal. A power play goal. Chris Noble floats one in from the point. Look at that. Number 12, Chris Noble, he's got a long-range goal.
No such thing as a bad shot on net. That goes to prove it. As I was saying, sometimes as an eliminated team, you feel a little better if the team that eliminates you goes on to get the W. We'll just say that we were joint second.
And we do know that now at the 19 mark on the views on YouTube, it's going to go way up from Nova watching his goal 15 times over the next 3 days.
It's key to social media success.
A cool fact about Chris Noble.
What you want to do is clip it out and just put it on Instagram so that gets 200 views, with Noble accounting for 998 of them, and 2 of them coming from whoever watches it off his feed. 998 views from Chris, 2 views from his mum.
2 views from his mum for sure. Cool fact about Chris Noble, one of the longest tenured fellas here in the hockey house. This game is his 319th hockey house game. 319 games. Try to wrap your head around that.
Yeah, that's I can't do the math. That's like, what has he?
Third goal.
He's played all.
No, just kidding. He has a couple more than 3.
Fifth, yeah. Give him
4.
some credit. Yeah. What are we,
his 24th goal, actually.
Is this the 11th season of Hockey House, or is it
12th?
12. Okay, so he's played all 12 seasons.
All 12 seasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he played. I think I played the first year when FHL was like, what do they call it? Red sticks, blue sticks. It was like 4 teams.
Yeah, what was it? The inaugural.
Yeah.
Inaugural half season.
Yeah, I played.
We called it the trial season.
Yeah, I played in that trial season. Then I was based offshore for a bit, and then came back to Hockey House proper, and now I've done 3 seasons of Hockey House proper. But yeah, so I guess he's been there the whole time, and that'll help you rack up some games.
The winner of that very first season was the Camorra Red Sticks.
Yeah, I believe I lost. Actually, so there you go. I have won a playoff series because we won a playoff series in that trial year. I think I won the semi-final and then lost in the final.
Ah, gotcha.
But I don't. I still want to win I want to win a playoff series in Hockey House proper. Not that, Mind you, great piece of history there. I get to be involved in the first season when Redman and Method Man somehow ended up wearing Hockey House All-Star jerseys. At least I could say I was part of the crew in that year.
That was one of my crowning moments there. Always been a lifelong BHL and Method Man, Redman fan. So to walk in and throw a jersey at them, oddly enough, the jerseys were 4 and 20. And they
nice.
and they immediately put them on at the concert, which made my day. And it's free. Another shot comes in from the point. It looks like the Cones have a strategy now of just literally sitting back and surrounding Emery.
Oh yeah,
They're
this
getting
is
their bodies in front of everything that comes the way.
They've been watching the game tapes of the mid-1990s New Jersey Devils and just gone with the, if we don't let much through, the goalie will stop what we do. So best of luck to you from there. Oh, Iodine got one away that could have caught Emery off guard if it was on target. It's ticketed. Sorry, I forgot you're the play-by-play guy. You go.
And Sinclair will beat out the icing. It looks like this is strictly a free puck battle race. This whole game tonight has been who gets to that open puck. They often get a shot. And Emery makes 2 more saves with players laying down all around him. Tim Butterfield tucked in behind him. They are absolutely all over him.
Good toss.
Unbelievable toss.
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
Just for the viewers back home, during that description of play, Rob Moon on score bench held out a sort of catching gesture and Punchy and instantly knew that was a give me a beer motion, tossed down a can into what isn't a very big gap. You know, it'd be very easy to overshoot that and find a can on the ice or find a can behind the bench. But Punchy knew what he was doing and just put it perfectly in his hands. It was perhaps the most athletic play you'll see off Pipsy's beautiful camera work.
From Punchy either.
Yeah.
And here we go. Seb Butterfield will move up. He's met at center by Glazeman. Kaliniak comes back to his own zone. Goes D to D.
But it looks like the Cones are breaking out that classic left wing lock, as I was about to say before I started.
And here comes the collapse on the net.
Commentary
all 5
on your
of them.
beer toss.
All
You'll see
5
again, you'll see one forward aggressively forechecking and maybe one in behind following net guard out there. But each time I've seen with this 2-goal lead, you've seen a maximum of 2 forwards forechecking, both D quite deep, and the third forward helping to either fill that gap by plugging the middle or just putting free straight across.
And the Cones get it out again. Glazeman will push it over to his partner. His partner will give it up to Maidment. Maidment's met in the middle, and the arm will go up as Colo unnecessarily bumps Maidment.
He did raise his elbow, and Aaron was in no mood to let that go. So this will maybe break up the Cones' defensive formation just by virtue of, or maybe they'll just go with one less forechecker and still have 3.
It's absolutely the last thing you want in this given situation. What I might do actually in this game, for me right now, donkeys with their backs against the wall, I'd have my goalie out.
Yeah, go for the 6-on-4. Why
not?
Third
period, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
You need somebody to just stand right in front of Emery and mark him. And really, for the most part, the Donkeys have done an excellent job of taking care of their own end.
Yeah, exactly. You just need kind of the Zdeno Chara on the power play, who's not really part of the playmaking, just there to be a body in the way. Or even you see the Admirals do it with McLeish. They'll park him in front of the net while the other 4 boys go to work.
Absolutely. And that was my role on the pylons as well.
Yeah.
And Richmond will dump it in. She'll chase it up. The Cones gain control, and Garcia will push it down the ice. Stewart gives it up to Potvin. Potvin, it's out of his outstretched arm. Eli goes back to make the play, and he'll find a way to get it out of his own. Marion will stop and manage it. Glassman will move up. Glassman will put it up the wall to Potvin. Potvin sees Glassman coming through the middle. Glassman cuts around with speed. Tries to make it to the middle. And Emery again makes a save. Potvin will chuck it into the mess. The Donkeys had a couple good chances there. Garcia will control it and throw it the length of the ice. Sinclair will come over the boards. with Austin Enright. Moved up to Morale. Emery will come out to help his own cause. He'll throw it up the wall. And Morale will push it, and it'll go out of the zone. So with nine minutes remaining here.
Colo exits the box. Both teams, Cones are back to even strength now.
And here it is. We sit 10 minutes away. 10 minutes away from the Cones reaching the pinnacle.
And I know we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. As Noble lifted a cup for any? He's been a long time Cone, and this will be their first time. Has he played for any other FHL franchises that have lifted it, or?
I'm not 100% sure. He may be a winner. He may be a winner of the BHL Cup in the inaugural season of the BHL. The inaugural season of the BHL, the Cones or the Pylons won. He might be on that cup. I cannot recall. But I do know that he has been a Cone for a long, long time. He was a longtime captain of the Pylons, but the Pylons have only won one initial championship. They've been back to the dance last year, but they've only won the very first one ever. And Emery looks poised.
Yeah, so relatively speaking, quite starved as a whole franchise, with this potentially being their first FHL and only one BHL in the franchise. So it'll be nice for the franchise to be adding something a little bit something more to the cupboard. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves with 8:20, 8:14ish remaining.
But this team here is riddled with a bunch of guys that are literally 8 minutes away from hoisting their first championship. Many of these guys, as I look around their roster, they have a lot of first-year players and a lot of players that have never really gotten past the conference final.
Look
at this.
Straight down the middle.
Mike Harvey makes it 3-0 Cones on a nice little pass from Seb Butterfield.
Seb makes sure to stick his hand up in front of the referee and let him know that 49 is one of the ones to go tell the score bench.
It is a prerequisite in the hockey house. If you are under the age of 20, you must ensure that the referee gets your points.
Well, yeah, we're speaking about that, right? We've got a bunch of veterans slugging away trying to win a cup, and we've got this 15-year-old who just slides in and is about to pick one up and be like, what are you talking about? Winning a cup's easy.
And put one right on the table, Mike Harvey. What a difference the Cones have had since that first game. The first game, they came out, got a quick win, but they got lit up, and since then they've just shut it down.
You could argue the Swamp Donkeys used all their goals in one game. That could be hazardous.
Oh.
Except they're not done here yet. They still think there's time, and they're still playing.
I think I'd have the goalie out. Why not?
Yeah, at this point, I think you may as well. But I guess the only I agreed with you on especially on the power play, and now why not? But I guess the Swamp Donkeys have got to be thinking to themselves that the balance of play isn't the problem. They're winning the shot count 30-13, so they might be thinking, oh well, we're already carrying the play and getting shots off. That's not a problem. It's just the actual beating of them. But as you say, camp one right in front of the net with no other responsibility. I'm just gonna do the whole debate, the pros and cons myself.
No, the way that they've held on to the puck tonight has been absolutely unbelievable. But it's few and far between when you have 3 goals on 13 shots. It's clear that the opportunities have been better for the Cones, even though they've been very minimal. And we got another penalty coming up here late in the game.
And this time it's on a donkey, so the Cones
just frustration taking over.
The Cones could either really ice this game with a 4-4 or with the man advantage. They could just play 4 corners for 2 minutes.
Absolutely. The ball is in their favor. The puck is bouncing their way. The ice is tilted in their favor. How many more cliches can we hit this with?
I don't know, but they're cliches for a reason. The destiny is in their hands.
The beauty is in the eye of the beer holder.
Or the beer leaguer in our case.
Yes.
I'm a true beer leaguer.
And Maidment comes over. He's not going to get a shot off, though. Garcia will dump it out.
It's funny, in these, especially in this beer league, sometimes even like having a power play can actually be a bit of a leveler, because a team like the Swamp Donkeys are only going to send out their best four, as opposed to, in the FHL it is what it is. There's a little bit of a variety from your strongest to your weakest player, but when a team's shorthanded, they're always going to send out their strongest, so it's not necessarily a guarantee that a power play is such a good thing.
It's a very good point. Brunton makes a play to Butterfield there. Butterfield, one of those seasoned veterans, turns into another breakaway for Garcia.
As soon as I say that, one of their better players just forgets to take the puck with him. So no guarantees in this world.
And Blackett will throw it around to Richardson. He's met there by Glassman.
Big shout out, Eric Richardson, one of my team members on my winter team, the Hawks. We won our ship last year, so he's got the chance to do the rare winter into summer double of just I show up and I win chips no matter where I am.
Nothing's better than a ship.
If you've won lotto and you're looking to get a yacht, go see my guy Eric, because he knows all about ships.
Iodine moves in, Dipsy Doodles through a couple. He'll throw one into Glassman, but he can't find the handle. It's moved back. Blackett puts it on the stick. Blackett gets it back. Throws it out. Iodine picks it off. Iodine goes low. Down low behind the net. Looking for a centering play. We're under 3 minutes now. Or under 4 minutes now, sorry. And Emery will squeeze one in the glove. And
I'm sure we've got Hawk captain Emma Child on the score bench. She'll hopefully whisper in Eric's ear that that Marku's first nudie run was inspired by that winter into summer double.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so if Eric does hit that winter into summer double, hopefully
you never know where traditions start. You never know.
We'll have to be like, well, there's a certain tradition if you win a championship with the Hawks and then a FHL. Precedent's been set. I believe Marku was in one of the Hawks' first championship teams, and then won an FHL championship, and then the back-to-back nature was where the first nudie run was. If you're that undefeatable, you're like, oh, I'm going to skate around here with not much on.
And thank you very much, Jochen, for the history of a nudie run. Right here at the Hockey House. Bruford will pick it up, realizes he's alone, finds Kaliniak coming late. Kaliniak will shoot one right into the abominable snowman. And it's squeezed by Spencer Emery.
Dave Colo was saying something completely indecipherable to Tim Maidment.
And it looks like Maidment might be injured on the play.
I believe Colo was probably calling him a Hollywood, and Maidment's demonstrating that he probably wasn't faking that.
Yeah, he's looking a little ginger as he hops over the boards there. The two of those fellas are teammates in the Winter League.
Yeah, so that'll be an awkward catch-up next week, I'm sure.
Got a player leaving the bench here. Seb Butterfield. Oh, maybe he's grounded because here comes his dad. Here's his dad. His dad's coming out. It could be past his bedtime.
Yeah, quite potentially. Dad's like, well, I think we've got this game wrapped up, so we'll start getting you changed and you've got school in the morning.
And as the two of them head to the dressing room.
Yeah. I mentioned that. One day you're just a normal kid at whatever high school you go to, and that tomorrow he's going to show up to his high school an FHL champion
with a huge cup. Just put it on his desk. There we go. And Emery makes another stop. That'll be Emery's 32nd save on the game.
Swamp Donkeys have cut their goalie loose to go for that 6-on-5, try and get back into this game.
Yeah, he's out of there now. We're about to see how we go the rest of the way here. And Mike Harvey will get a turnover. The Donkeys will have to freak out to clear the zone. A beautiful play by Glassman, just diving out of the zone.
Just willing himself out of that zone to keep the play onside.
The Moon goes down in the corner. He'll get it. We got 2:40 remaining. And Mooney will get it at the side. Goes in front, and Emery will cover up. So with 2:28 remaining, we are literally 200 seconds away. 200 seconds away from the Cones being crowned. If they can pop 3 in 200 seconds, I will be impressed.
Yeah, it'd be probably the quickest 3 goals Spencer's ever given up.
This will be the 3rd straight appearance for the Donkeys in this final series. Or sorry, the 5th straight appearance. Having taken it away last year, or losing it last year, the Cones, their 2nd consecutive loss here. They actually have not found a handle in the last 4 years. 4 years they've made it to the final and come up short.
Oof, that's got to sting. Certainly, I guess especially for a lot of those protected players that are going to be cut loose with the reset, management team will be scratching their heads figuring out what they've got to do to break that hoodoo.
It's one thing that the Donkeys don't lack in. They do have one of the best scouts in the league in Kyle Kaliniak.
Certainly shows up to pretty much every scouting scrimmage, as you've said, right?
Yeah, he does the due diligence, and he gets it done. But it looks like for the 4th straight year, he's going to get right to the finish line and then pull an ACL.
Yeah, no, I can't fault his work as a GM and scout. I mean, they certainly did put together another formidable side. They just run into an immovable object.
And Noble will fight for it in the last minute here. They'll look to get it out. It gets cleared through the zone. Colo gives chase on Ashley Richmond. Colo wins it. Throws it to the middle. Colo will get it back. Little stick lift. He'll chip it in. Lazowski will turn. Lazowski will wrap it around the side to Iodine. Iodine will move it up to Stewart. Stewart will come through the zone. He gets by a man. And again, Emery is there to stop it. With 1:05 left on the clock. They are in the final minute here.
Yeah, the Cones obviously just want to keep on playing for the man at the back. I don't want to say the word.
Oh, and Spencer Emery.
Spencer tried to keep it alive. I'm not sure if he's trying to keep it alive because he wanted to keep the clock running, or if he's trying to. Yeah, exactly. He's just looking to really top off his final series with a goalie goal as well as.
If he pops a goal here in the last minute, I will lose my shit.
It's literally the only thing he hasn't done yet.
Oh, where'd that one go?
Onto the stick of iodine.
Stops it again. Paul Brunton shoots it long range, and that's going to ice it. That's going to ice it. The clock will run out. That is going to ice it. They're going to win their first cup. The lead now is more than 3 goals, and the clock will run down.
Apart from the fact that Score Bench hasn't done that.
Oh, shit, it's running now.
Now it's running.
Congratulations to Lake Cones, winners of the FHL Cup. Paul Brunton, another one of those new guys from inline who's just kind of jump into the game. We've hit zeros here on the streamcast, but there remains 20 seconds on the clock.
We get a little bit of bonus time due to...
And here comes the countdown for the Cones.
Short-staffed on the score bench.
Glassman will come in and try for one last pull. Brunton will throw it the length of the ice. And that's going to do it. Your FHL Front Yard Cup champions. There's gloves flying everywhere. And we got winners, the Cones are the FHL champions. And let the celebrations begin. This team had taco night on Tuesday night.
It's celebration Tuesday.
Yeah, it'll be taco night on Tuesday night. They had tacos on Sunday after last week's win. And look at them. That is one happy group. I'm going to step out here as I got more presenting to do, Joachim, and I'll let you take it home. From myself and on behalf of the Hockey House, I appreciate all of you guys viewing in today, and we're about to hand out a cup.
Well, I'll still let Punchy do most of the talking when he eventually gets the arena microphone in his hand, but I'll fill in a few of the gaps. But what more really needs to be said? Swamp Donkeys just still can't seem to find a way despite being... Let the record show that my toss was just as good as Cam's, but his hand's not quite so good under the high ball. We've got a couple of high grenades for him to help dish out to the champions and MVPs. Handshake line going through. Obviously all smiles on the Cones and, you know, a few smiles on the Swamp Donkeys too, which is good to see. The series played in the right spirit for the most part, save the odd occasional blow up. But yeah, they're all people who know each other and have crossover from winter and summer teams. But yeah, congratulations to these Cones. We've got as we've said before on the broadcast, we've got a lot of long-serving hockey houses getting their hands on one of the pieces of silverware for the first time, and some who have just cruised in, picked it up in their first season. A little bit of chatter in the stands. Sneller of the Nudie run before, basically seeing who from the Cones might join him in such antics.
Okay, first off, thank you very much for all you people that have stuck around and watched this game. Put your hands together for yourselves and these two teams. And first things first, we're going to announce the MVP of the playoffs. It's a really tough decision. Extremely tough. With one assist throughout the playoffs, but an astounding 1-1 record with 5 shutouts, a GAA that sets a record at .76 and a 972% save percentage. Spencer Emery.
Perhaps the most predictable playoff MVP in the history of beer league hockey anywhere. Spencer Emery for the Cones. I hope you heard some of the stats that Punchy was rattling off. I don't have them on hand, but just an unbelievable save percentage. 5 shutouts across 3 playoff series that are all a best of 5. Denied is right on the back of that jersey. That's correct, just denying everything in front of him. And Punchy's given him 1 beer. I think every single one of his Cones teammates should give him one as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands But you guys had a hell of a season. You put up a hell of a fucking series, a great playoff run, and unfortunately, you ran into that. But it gives me great pleasure to thank the team that's been here 5 times and present this trophy to a team who made their very first appearance in a final, let alone taking the whole thing home. So I'm very proud and happy to present this to their captain, number 91, Aaron Kumar.
Cone's captain, Aaron Kumar, getting his hands on the FHL trophy for the first time in his career and of this franchise. As Punchy mentioned, for all you hockey houses, you've heard me say it several times throughout the broadcast, but one further reminder, now that the ice time on Thursday is not needed for any Game 5s, we've got 2 hours worth of scrimmage, so please, can we get a few skaters to that? Had smaller numbers for... I don't think I want to address what Dave Colo was up to there. I think I should just keep on talking about the scrimmage and not even... Well, Pipsy's camera work is flawless, so you saw what he did. I'm not going to describe it again. Anthony Blackett, playing as a goalie in winter, winning a championship as a skater. What more can the man do? And, of course, your MVP now, Spencer Emery, getting his hands on that cup, incredibly well-deserved. But yeah, so 2 hours worth of scrimmage on Thursday. Please come down. We've had quite short benches during the scrimmages, and we definitely need more people if we're hitting up an hour worth. 2 hours worth, sorry. All right, I think I've said everything that needs to be said. Congratulations to the Cones. Congratulations to the Toe Dragons. Thank you all so much for watching here with us. I'm going to put down the headset, but we'll keep Pepsi will keep the outstanding camera work going, and you'll just get the sounds and atmosphere of this team celebrating their incredibly well-deserved first FHL trophy. Well, the sounds. Yeah. Colo did it before while I was talking about something else, and I just going to say, well, I'm not going to describe that, but Pipsy got it on camera, so it is what it is.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here. We have 2 sets of champions tonight.
I did sign off, but you can sign off again.
Congratulations to the Tow Dragons, and congratulations to Lake Hounds. And a big thanks to all of you people that have tuned in tonight and paid attention to the stream. This ends another Hockey House season. I'm Punchy signing off. This is my beautiful partner, Yoakum.
Oh, they get to hear me sign off for a second time, which I already did. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone who watched across all the finals games of the Hockey House series and commented and gave us life and just showed up on the stream and gave us reason for existence. Congratulations to all the teams, and thanks to them for putting on excellent hockey for me to sometimes talk about and sometimes just be on the background when I chat other nonsense. Yeah, we love you all. Hockey House for life. See you at the draft night.
Buddies Hockey Life.